Hey everybody, we're back at the Industrial Revolution. If you have not checked out my introduction video, I encourage you to do that, where I laid out a framework by which we are going to attack this topic. And the way we're going to do it is by use of a Venn diagram where we can compare the first Industrial Revolution with the second. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And so to start, hey, gotta show you my drawing, you guys. The first Industrial Revolution, 1750 to 1850, and there is my image, guys, my very first image. And yes, that is Great Britain. That is Great Britain. Let me tell you something. That is one tough country to draw right there. I'm telling you, I could spend the rest of my life at this board and not get that right. But that's where I gotta go with you guys. I realize you might need to use your imagination a little bit to figure that out. But of course, that's why I put the GB on there, just to make sure you knew it was Great Britain. But there it is, begins in Great Britain. And I think it kind of begs the question, why? Historians have asked this question. It's been hotly debated over the centuries. Why did the Industrial Revolution actually begin in Great Britain? And I don't think there is actually one specific answer. In fact, quite honestly, it's an interesting debate because I think there are a number of things that came together at that time that the British took advantage of in starting this revolution. And so I put on the board behind me just 8 different reasons that I have for why it started in Great Britain. And again, some of these I think are pretty readily accepted as, at least partly responsible. Some could be debated, but I think these are 8 pretty solid ones. And again, you might have some others out there, but let's go through these guys one at a time and attack these. But the first one's natural resources. Great Britain had many natural resources, from coal that was easily accessible and near the surface. They had trees, water, iron ore, navigable rivers. All those things were very, very important in having an industrial revolution. So natural resources is definitely one of them. Another one is, at the same time, I have up here agriculture. There was an agricultural revolution going on in Great Britain at about the same time, where new inventions and farming methods allowed farmers to produce more crops in a more efficient manner, which allowed them to feed more people. And because they were able to feed more people, guess what? The population grew. And so now you have a growing population, which is living longer and healthier, which means there's more people. And of course, you need people to work in factories. So you can kind of see how these things are kind of working together already. You have natural resources that you can use in industry. You have farmers being more efficient with raising crops, which means now you'll need less people in farming, and which means then there's more people to work in these factory towns. So and the population is growing. So you have resources, agriculture, population. Great Britain also had an entrepreneurial class. An entrepreneurial class of people. An entrepreneur is just someone who is basically willing to take a risk to start a business. And so they had people who were entrepreneurs and had capital. Capital is another one. Capital, what I mean by that is investment dollars to invest in machines and factories. So they had entrepreneurs willing to take a risk who had capital, but you need more than that. You also need, this is government policies, you also need a government that is favorable to doing that. You need a government that is pro-business, a government that is favorable to people going out and starting a business and allowing them to make money and make a profit, all right? So I think those 3 things are very closely tied together. An entrepreneurial class of people who have capital and a government that is willing to support those ventures. Another thing you gotta look at here is the markets. The British, it's been said at that time that the sun never set on the British Empire. The sun never set on the British Empire, meaning it was worldwide. And so they had a huge, huge market. They had by far the largest colonial empire in the world. And so they had a market to sell products, but then they also had places to go for more resources. So they were able to gather resources from their colonial possessions. They were able to, in turn, have a huge market to sell their finished products. And then the last one on the list here is transportation. You can have as many resources as possible. You can mine all the resources, you can get all the coal, all the iron ore, but you know what? If you don't have a way to take those raw materials to the factories and deliver them in a timely, efficient, cost-effective manner, you're not gonna make any money. It's gonna be too expensive. And so, they had a transportation system, whether it be, early canals or early railroad system that was developing at this time, that allowed them to transport raw materials very efficiently from the mines to the factories. But then when the finished products were done, they also had a means of delivering those finished products to their markets. So transportation was very, very significant in the development of business. So there it is, you guys. Natural resources, agriculture, capital, government policies, entrepreneurs, markets, transportation, population, all those things coming together. And again, I don't think it's just one factor. I think probably what happened is that all of those things worked together and were available for the British. They took advantage of it, and beginning around 1750, you see a boom in industry. So that's where it began, guys. Roughly around 1750, it's going to begin in Great Britain. And next time we get back together, we'll talk more about some of the early energy sources, some of the new industries that were formed, and then also some of the new inventions as well. So, hey, hope that helps, and we will see you back soon. Bye.